What up? Welcome back to another episode of the Straightforward Podcast. Keep it high energy. Yeah. Okay, this is my t-shirt, right? It's called the Straightforward Podcast. I just want to break it down. So basically, it was intended to do public interviews. Just go ask the public different stuff, you know what I mean? But I've only done one interview and I almost got arrested. It was in Dubai. Kind of almost got arrested because you're not allowed to film in public. But I didn't know. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to publish it. Didn't get that many views. Anyway, long story short. Today I'm going to be talking about... I've got a couple of stuff to talk about, to be honest. These are all not conversations, but ideas that come to my mind, and I literally just send it to my other WhatsApp. And so I've got a couple. So the first one is... we're probably going to talk about is... Let me pick one, and then I'll put it in the captions. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about the main thing that comes to my mind, and then I'm just gonna tie everything into everything. You know what I mean? Okay. So to do things, what I'm learning right now is to do things day by day. So, for example, if I'm struggling to do something. I know we probably all have this thing where we want to accomplish something, but we think of the result. We think of doing this certain thing for 30 days. So then we think of the 30-day mark. We don't think of today, being present right now. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me push this back a little bit. We don't think of right now, but the way to accomplish the 30-day goal is to be present in the moment right now, which is, what can I do right now which will help me go towards the 30 days. Not to think of the 30 days, but to focus right now, to accomplish today, the 24 hours. And once we accomplish that, then we take tomorrow as it comes as well. That makes everything much more easier, because if we're thinking of the future too much, like the 30 days, for example, we're not going to be present and we're not going to be active in what our intentions are right now. And it's going to make it so much more harder. But if I focus, for example, the things that I'm doing right now, it makes it easier. So if you're struggling to accomplish something, I recommend that you take it day by day. Set your time, which is probably until 12 a.m. you go to sleep, or 10 p.m., whatever time you go to sleep. That's one day done. You know what I mean? So if you take it day by day, you're going to accomplish a lot. You're gonna see yourself going much more further than if your mind was focused on the 30 days. You know what I mean? Because your mood, your emotions, your energy is all different throughout that whole 30 days. But if you manage and you maintain how you feel in the moment, regardless of how you feel, if you feel angry, if you feel happy, if you feel tired, if you feel lazy, whatever. I think you know what I mean, okay? So, also I want to tie that every bad habit is a runaway from stress, anger, or anxiety. So whenever we feel stressful, whenever we feel angry, whenever we have anxiety, we run away to a vice that we have, which is smoking, which is porn. For a lot of men, it's actually porn, which is very bad, because that's like the highest amount of dopamine a man can regulate. I mean, not regulate, but basically generate in his brain, and you're basically numbing your prefrontal cortex and your frontal lobe. And your frontal lobe is basically, your prefrontal cortex is fully developed by the age of 25, and it's basically, it helps you basically think. Think and do things in the right manner. But if you keep numbing that, then your life is just in shambles. At the same time, the amount of dopamine that you get from porn is the same dopamine that you get from heroin. Studies show, they've done a scan on the brain, it's damn near the same. So yeah, so we need to focus on not running away from anger, not running away from anxiety, not running away from stress and going to a vice, because although that vice might take away all that type of emotions or the way we're feeling, and it may relieve our stress, it's actually damaging us, and we know that. If it's smoking, it's damaging our lungs. If it's, for example, porn, if you think of it spiritually, it's blocking your life. It literally stagnates your life. If you watch porn, for example, and you look at your life for the last 5-10 years, whatever, and it's all the same, and you've been watching that for the past 5 to 10 years, that is the reason. If you stop it, I'm telling you, your life will change. You're going to attract the most beautiful people. You're going to attract the most beautiful partners, relationship-wise. You're going to attract the best opportunities in your life. You're going to attract money. That thing is blocking you. I'm telling you, it's a spiritual attack on men, and it's not only making men docile, but it's attacking us spiritually. That's a whole nother video. I'll leave it to that, because I highly advocate for people not to watch it, because it's literally the main stopper in the man's life. So yeah, everything that you want is on the other side of everything that we want is learning. Why am I stuttering? Everything that we want is learning how to sit with boredom. If we can sit with boredom, we will accomplish, and we will overcome a lot of things that we want and get a lot of things that we want in life if we just sit with boredom. But a lot of us run away. We run away when we feel stressed. We start to binge eat. We start to whatever vice it is that we know is bad, we indulge in it to run away from that stress. If we could just sit in boredom, if we could just read a book, if we could just breathe, if we could just do nothing, we're gaining so much more, and it costs nothing to do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so also, how I want to conclude all of this is, don't go in a spiral of saying you're a failure or saying that you're failing in something or whatever. Like, the words of affirmations, the things that you tell yourself, your subconscious mind doesn't know if you're joking or you're serious. So if you say, I'm a loser, your brain doesn't know that you're either joking or you're just angry in the moment, or if whatever it is. If you say negative words, your brain is gonna believe it, and things might not turn the way out that you want it to turn out. You know what I mean? So if you spiral into saying that you're failing or whatever, then you'll end up quitting whatever you want to do. So if, for example, I'm doing YouTube right now, if I say, you know what, I posted a couple 100,000 videos, not that I did, but for example, I posted a lot of videos, and I say, you know what, I'm not getting views, I'm not getting likes, I'm not getting subscribers, I'm failing, and I believe that, it's easier for me to quit. But if I keep going, don't know why it keeps tilting, but if I keep going, not only am I not losing anything, I'm gaining, matter of fact, but I'm not quitting, I have that self-belief. And if you don't have self-belief in yourself, then who do you have belief in? Celebrities, people that you don't know, people that don't even support you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So support yourself, be the person that you want to be, have that flipping aura, dude. Because I was literally watching, me and my sister, okay, never mind. Yeah, we were watching like Michael Jackson, whatever, and I was like, damn, dude, like, he has one of his videos, he just pops up on the stage, and people are just fainting. People are just like, they're absolutely hectic. They can't control themselves. And he did not say anything. He literally popped up on stage, and he stood there, didn't say niche. He didn't say nothing. And this guy made people pass out. So, and he had a lot of self-belief. If you watch a lot of his interviews, he'd go to the mirror and he'd tell himself very positive affirmations. And yeah, Michael Jackson was one of a kind. Like, even if you watch any of his videos right now, you can feel it. It's not just like, you can feel his energy, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was impactful, and he tried to make a change in the world, So we shouldn't think that we're insignificant and that individually we can't do anything, because all of us together can make a change. One of us can make a change. If you look at all the influential people in life, it took one person to make a big change in the world. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. These were basically just different topics that I wrote down that I'm planning to do individually that are tied in together. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was somewhat beneficial and informative. I'll see you in the next video. Keep it hectic.